Thanks for joining us for episode 2 of Meet the Masters of Region 6. This time we're going to be heading down to Mobile, Alabama to talk with Master Chris Smith of Endurance Karate Center. All right, thank you, Master Smith. We had a little technical difficulty, so if you sense any awkwardness, that's the reason, but it's okay. We're here. We got it all figured out, and we're going to do this interview right. So, first thing I want to ask you is tell me a little bit about your martial arts journey. We've discussed it in the past, but for people who don't know about your history in martial arts, let them know.
My name's Chris Smith. Started martial arts in 1992 at the age of 12 in Bay Minette, Alabama. My father approached me one day and said, "Hey, do you want to take karate?" And I was like, I don't know, sure. And he took me to class. It was in a small little trailer mobile unit. I watched for the first night, watched one of the guys break a board with a ridge hand, and I was hooked. Like, went back the next class, and that was it. I stayed for a long time.
I know that we discussed in the past that you had a hiatus and that you had to actually re-enter martial arts and the World Tongdo Association specifically. Can you tell me about what brought you back to Tongdo?
My son and my wife brought me back to Tongdo. I got my first degree in 96, second degree in 98, and was on track for my third degree. I was 2 years in, right at 3 years, and I got accepted into University of Southern Miss the same day. Like, he handed me the keys to the studio and said, "I'm retiring, it's yours." And I was like, "Well, I just got accepted to Southern Miss. I'm going out of state." So he shut down the school, and I went to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and went to school there and graduated in construction engineering. There were local schools. Strahan's Karate Center was over an hour away, and I never made the trip. I really, hindsight 2020, wish I did, but didn't happen. So yeah, during school, graduated, got married, had a few kids, and son was getting to the age where we needed to get him into a sport. I put my foot down and said it had to be Tongsudo, nothing else. So that's what brought us back.
Okay. I know that there was a portion of your training that consisted of driving a very long distance. Was that around opening up your own studio, training to open your own space?
Yeah, it wasn't too terribly long. Yeah, the long distance would have been in Mississippi to get to Master Strahan's place, but here in town, when we decided that we were going to get him back into it, I had the bright idea to start my own school. Reached out to some other instructors I saw on the World Tongsudo website, and said, "Hey, I'm Chris. I'm a second degree. I'm a lifetime member. I've been out for a few years, but I'm coming back. I still remember almost everything." Like, they put me in touch with Master McCarty, who was with the association at the time. Went and trained with him for 7-8 years. Now, he's still my instructor. I still talk to him all the time, but started training with him, and then brought my son along, and he had to sit and watch for a good long time before he was allowed to train, because Master McCarty at the time didn't train children, especially at the age of 6. So Riley, my son, had to sit and wait for months, a good long time, before he was allowed to be on the mat with us.
So something that really struck me was how many classes you held in one night. We had like 4 or 5 classes tonight. I lost count.
Yes.
So why do you have so many classes in one night?
I separate the classes out by rank. So we do white and orange, green and brown, and then red and above. And then we have a Tiny Tigers class, and then we normally have a kickboxing class that follows all of that. But we have a smaller space here, so we just we keep the classes small. We've had 16, 18, 20 people in here before, and it's elbow to elbow, people kicking each other, hitting each other. It's
I can imagine.
It gets tight.
Yeah.
So we keep the classes smaller. It's more work on me, but I also feel like I get a better, I won't say a better result with the child, but it's a manageable enough class. It's a small enough class where everybody's getting called on throughout the class. So we're just a small space. We keep them small and.
Fantastic. Yeah. I love that. So you absolutely utilize the space to its maximum potential, and when we did everything a normal class would do, but you used the space very well to get done what you wanted to get done. Do you have any advice to any studio owners who may have a smaller type space?
Just be creative. Use the space. I've been in this space for 4 years. I wasn't here for 6 months, and I was already chomping at the bit for a larger space, which more rent, more bills, more. And I was quickly told to stop, reevaluate what I'm doing, and that the space isn't the issue, that it's just how you teach, and just how you're creating, how to be creative with that space. And I heard stories from lots of masters that have these huge spaces but a small mat space. And there are masters who have waiting lists and certain spots on the floor, and they rent them out, and that's yours. If you're not there, you're off the list, and the next one comes on, and they do very well. So we keep it small. I like the personal touch with all the kids, where I can call them by their name. I do like the bigger. There's a good energy in the huge class, but I don't know if I can get around and make that impact on a child if there's 30 or 40 or 50 kids in there. So I'm just by myself. I don't have any assistant instructors.
I understand that, yes.
So I gotta,
having that personal touch can make the difference.
Do what we can, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your favorite thing to teach, sir?
Hyungs and Hyung applications.
What do you mean by Hyung applications?
The forms are a way of fighting. They're a way of training without hurting your training partner. You just have to look for them. There's so many moves and so many applications in all the forms. You just have to dig a little deeper and see. It's like an onion. The more you look, the more you see. I really like applications. I like throwing and clinching and fighting from that style. When I was a younger man, I had high kicks and good hips, and I could do the splits and had really fast feet. Now that I'm a little older, feet are still pretty fast. They just don't go as high as they used to. But I found myself more into that grabbing and clinching and throwing style of martial arts. And I think a lot of that is found in the forms if you just kind of peel away the layers and look at them. So I really like searching for that application and figuring it out. It's like a puzzle.
Well, you definitely have a knack for it. Like every class, anytime you touched a form, it was like, you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Every form was a quiz.
Gotta let them know.
It was fun to watch. So you and I have discussed in the past how significant it was for you to obtain your master's belt. Now that you have your master's belt, what is it that drives you going forward?
I know how much martial arts has helped me, so I'm just trying to help the kids. It's not about me anymore. It's about helping the kids. Me and my father had a plan laid out back when I was 14, 15, 16. It's like, all right, you're black belt, you probably hit second degree at 18, third degree at 21, master at 25. Like, we ran the numbers, and so that was a big goal. And the hiatus happened, and life happened, and coming back into it. So it was a huge deal to go through that process, coming back into the association and getting this master's belt. But now that I've gotten here, I've kind of opened my eyes. It's not about me. Mm-hmm. It's about the kids and spreading this to them and to the adults. And it's about just passing this on. It's trying to help the next generation coming up.
Yeah, and that's something that's always really fascinating about martial arts, right? It's like a math teacher teaches someone who then teaches math one day, but there's not like a style of math that they learn or gain from a specific lineage or a specific person that gave them the specific way of doing math. It's math, right?
Yeah.
Whereas for martial artists, it's like really cool because we pick up from the people who teach us over the years, and then we can continue that going forward. And then people after us will refine that and make it better and better and better over time. It's just so awesome to be a part of the process. Yeah. Something a little lighter. What is your favorite hyung?
I don't have a favorite. Sipsu is up there. I like Nahanchis. I like Kun Sun Kun. They kind of covers everything. Those are probably the top three. I like all of them. I like the Pyongans. I like the applications in there. I love Nahanchis. I love doing the Nahanchis. So.
Fantastic. So those are your top three: is Sipsu, Nahanchis,
Nahanchi, and Kun Sun Kun.
And then Kong Sen Kun, which I'll let you cheat and use Nahanchi, even though that's several forms. But we'll just let it slide.
I just need the first one. That's all.
Okay, just the first one.
I don't.
Okay, Nahanchi Chodo.
First one's enough. We good there.
All right. What is something that you like to do outside of the dojang?
We do some cycling, play guitar as a hobby. We used to, and kind of the name of Endurance Karate Center, I used to run a lot. We've done a couple marathons.
When you say we, you mean you and your wife?
Me and my wife. I've done a few marathons. She's done way more than me. We've done some triathlons. She's done way more than me. So we were into the endurance sports before we started the school up. So endurance kind of came through that route, but still like to do some of those endurance. Don't run so much anymore. I do getting back into cycling some. So.
Well, that's cool. I didn't know that. So you were an endurance guy. That's neat to learn about the name coming from your enjoyment of endurance sports, right?
Yeah.
Now I'll run, but it ain't fun. I'll do it for necessity. Last question before we leave today: what is something that sets Endurance Karate Center apart from other dojangs?
I've taken so much from other dojangs and other instructors for my teaching style. I don't know if we're really that much different than everybody else. One of the big things we have here is a big family base. We have a lot of families coming in, father, sons, mothers, daughters, the whole family. At one point we had a family of 6. We get triplets and twins, and we get a lot of homeschool kids, a lot of Catholic. There's a big Catholic community here in Mobile. We get a lot of Catholics through the schools. It's a big family. I can pull up in carpool and see the students at school. And even the ones that don't take from me anymore, they'll still wave, say, "Hey, Master Smith." It's a good little community we have here.
And the way you have it set up with your classes, mother and son, or whatever family, can actually come up through the ranks together, despite their age or anything like that. So it seems like you really have it set up to where it emphasizes that family, because you can start as a family, you can train as a family. There's no hindrance there.
Right. The last class we had a mother and 2 sons in it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've picked up on that, but yeah.
I'm oblivious. I noticed that there were families. I noticed there were brothers and sisters, but I'm the worst at picking out specifics. So I could sense it.
Yeah, the other families weren't here tonight. They're on vacation, but yeah, big family unit here. It's good to have.
Absolutely. And you have a really cool operation going. I'm honored to come and train with you tonight. I'm hoping that we have more training sessions in the future.
Absolutely.
I look forward to seeing you in a month's time at the tournament.
Yes, sir.
And I suppose that's going to be it. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And see you soon. Tongsu.
Tongsu.
Thanks for watching Meet the Masters of Region 6, Episode 2. Join us next time when we head down to Houma, Louisiana to speak with Masters Dean and Ellen Plick. See you next time.